Charles 2770.
All right, welcome everyone to the Monday afternoon Advocate News Meeting. I'm Editor Chris Cobway. This is the only time of the day when Carolina can get us to all be quiet.
It takes us some work, too.
Let us know what you think of the stories we're working on. Suggest you have stories we should be working on. Here to my right.
I'm Becky Cooper, Managing Editor.
And to her right.
Very, very quiet. We're hunting news stories. Tony Belandrin, City Editor.
Nice. Elmo Fudd. All right.
That is good, Tony. And I'm Carolina Strain, Digital Editor. If you want to join in the conversation, just leave us a comment. I turned the filter off this time, so
we can say anything we want.
Ooh, no cussing. No
I'll
cussing.
relay it over to the editors. So.
All right. And we always ask a music trivia question, and almost always. Donnie from New Kids on the Block. Do you know New Kids on the Block?
I've heard of
your
them.
Era? No?
I've
What about your era?
I've heard of them.
Barely.
When were they popular?
They were more like early 80s.
Oh.
They would be more my era if I had been born in 77 or something.
Okay.
When were you born, Laura?
86, and I had marbles with their little heads in it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Donnie is the older brother of which actor? Donnie.
Wait a minute. Oh, I know.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Oh. Meredith, you're too old to know
I had
the
to
answer that
think,
question.
though.
I know the last
I was
one.
still processing it in my head.
All
I
right.
had to figure out who Donnie's last name was.
Mark
and then-
Wahlberg.
Yes,
I knew
Mark.
Donnie.
Marky Mark.
Dirk Diggler.
Yes.
Anyway.
And that was a
All right.
prosthetic, too.
And then in other news, here's another
You
question.
know what I'm talking about, Laura?
According to Madonna's 2000 Hot 100 number one hit, music, that's not the name of the song. Music makes the people do what? What does it make people do?
Oh, wait a minute. Makes the whole world sing.
Meredith is on fire.
What did she say?
I'll give you the options. Come together, get into the groove, dance the night away. Get into the groove, boy. You've got to
No.
use
What was the
your
setup
love
question?
to me. According to Madonna's 2000
Oh,
Hot
Madonna.
Number 100 hit,
Oh.
music makes people do what?
Oh, I thought
Come
it was.
together, 2000.
I thought
Meredith,
you said Barry Manilow.
I didn't know you listened to the radio. Weird.
Ooh.
I thought you just listened to Eagles and George Strait.
And ABBA.
All right.
You don't listen to George Strait?
Wow.
And ABBA.
You don't? I
Oh,
thought you did.
sorry.
All right. Well, there we go. We're learning new things about Meredith every day. After 10 years, I thought I knew her.
You're wrong.
Wait till the feds bust her at work.
What?
Then we're like, oh, I don't know her. She didn't say much at work.
She was always really quiet.
Yes, very quiet. Always on the computer.
Never cussed up a storm.
All right.
I love
In
her.
news, we have a feature on Christmas lights. Who do we focus in on?
It's the
It's
most
a story about a
wonderful
Edge Landscaping that does Christmas lights, outdoor Christmas lights for people.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, and
Edge does it?
they said
As a business?
they said it's a safety thing that keeps people from falling off the ladders and things like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was
And we also
thinking-
talked to another company. I think they're based in Austin, but they do some work down here. And then our face of our story is Mary. Ms. Morgan. Morgan.
Mary Jane?
Mary Jane? I know her.
He's dyeing his hair. He's dyeing his
But
Gosh,
we're also going to be
that's
asking readers for where you think the best decorated homes are around the crossroads. And I've seen some posts about various
Oh,
ones.
pretty
yeah.
ones.
I know one
Yeah.
place. I took a
Selfie?
no.
Uh,
I took an image of
You
the
took a Christmas light?
Google Maps thing,
oh.
so I knew where I was.
Oh, I see.
'Cause I was-
Anyway, so let us know. We
I
want
was
to put
at
together
a
a
party
map.
I had never been to, or
The people who out do the like the light show and all that stuff, all the cool stuff.
I was thinking of getting one of those, those machines you put on the ground and flashes all those lights. I was thinking of getting one for the newsroom.
Oh, that projects up on.
Yeah,
You want the light one, or do you want
Yeah.
one that has pictures, or what?
pictures.
I saw somebody one of those inflatables.
I
had
do
this
naughty
huge
pictures.
Teddy bear, huge,
Huge.
huge. I was like,
Huge.
wow, huge.
You know,
It would like go up to the ceiling here.
you're not working for the administration, are you?
Then we have a story on Jerry's kayak reopening after Harvey, the first time since Harvey.
Just in time for winter.
You can
You're around. You can.
That's why.
you can
That's
kayak
Balmy
funny about
day.
it.
You can
It's really balmy
Although there's a
today.
cold front moving in, so I guess we
Good.
should have a brief on that, shouldn't
When,
we? Tomorrow.
Ooh.
Tomorrow it's supposed to drop down into high of the 50s.
ooh,
Yeah.
Brr.
bring out the
Minnesota's supposed to get a bunch of blizzard.
So that'd be Catherine, right?
Go cut some wood for the fireplace.
Huge drop in temperature. Huge.
So Nicole, is it 50 cold where you're from?
That's balmy. It's springtime for Hitler and Germany.
Winter for Poland and France.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that musical. Sorry,
What show is that?
it's the producers.
Producers.
Yeah.
They decided to make a musical about Hitler,
That would flop. It was guaranteed
Yeah.
if they needed to flop.
so they could embezzle the.
they could make money,
The money.
but it was
Yeah.
a hit.
Yeah, they figured
That
out a
was
way.
hilarious.
They figured out a way to
Okay.
make money.
That was a surefire flop.
It's
Yeah,
such a, one
fire,
of the
yeah.
greatest, like, ironic little musical riffs.
Was it embezzlement or was it a tax write-off?
It was embezzlement, yeah.
Oh.
Then let's see. We got the county
Because
commissioners
that's why he got
talking
the
about
accountant. Sorry.
whether to sue the opioid manufacturers. Interesting question. Whether you should do that. Our poll question for tomorrow will be: should the city rename a street after Martin Luther King Jr.?
I think they should.
Well, I think they should also name one after Cesar Chavez because I think major cities too also have Cesar Chavez Avenue. There's one in Kansas City.
The
I
one in
know.
Austin I drive on. It's First Street, Cesar Chavez Boulevard.
Where is this street at again? That they're talking about?
They haven't talked. They haven't decided.
They haven't decided.
Spotlighted
It would
it.
have to be a high-profile street.
Some reader commented said it should be a major street,
Yes,
not
a
just
big
a
street.
little side
Yes,
street.
I agree.
Should it be the street that they used for the Black History Parade? Which one?
Where's that? North?
It's over by,
What is it,
it's not North Street, it's,
What street is it?
yeah, it's North Street.
It's
Front of
North
the-
Street.
Yeah. All right.
Why not North Street?
Yeah. You could.
I
Main
mean,
Street.
and that's where they already
Yeah.
have the parade.
That's a boring name. North Street has no significance to
Right,
the
So
source.
it goes with South, East, and West Street.
Well, still no. But any directional name can be changed, right?
Years ago, people petitioned the council wanting Main Street changed to
Yeah.
MLK. And
They did?
No, they changed the federal building to MLK
Huh.
instead.
That'd be good history for Marina to
Well,
know
I told her
that.
about
Sorry.
that
Huh.
before, but
So it didn't
I'll
get happen. Main Street didn't happen, huh? And so the federal building changed.
Yeah.
Main Street would be really
That's
good.
interesting background. Main
I
Street
know,
would be a
I-
candidate for
I
it,
have
you
to,
know. Another street that has basically no significance to its name, other than
I
Main
did
Street.
pause when I first got here, and I thought they named the federal building after MLK.
Yeah.
No, I just
Huh.
didn't expect
That's
it.
history. What year was that about, roughly?
Oh, well, 90s probably?
I'm gonna go do something about the vacuum.
Do something killing our sound here.
Tell
From the
her, tell her
90s.
10 minutes.
David
about the
Tiller told
vacuum.
story.
All right. Then we have a story about a Bloomington incident. It's
Yeah,
better.
better.
I just closed the door.
All right.
Where's she vacuuming?
The bathroom.
Oh. What?
We're hearing
It's all
about
tile.
an
The shop
incident
vac.
in Bloomington.
Water vacuum.
Come on over, camera. And
Come on over, camera. It's voice operated.
so it moves on over if I
Yeah.
talk.
Okay,
All right.
Google.
Huh?
We were out on scene of an incident in Bloomington that the sheriff's office didn't
Oh,
tell
yeah.
us what was going on. So we checked Sunday, still no word. Monday, we're thinking we'll get word on it. We did talk with the mother of the victim in this, the parent victim.
What kind of
But
victim?
Parent victim. We're still waiting to hear the official word from
You
the
said
SO.
terror victim?
A parent.
Oh.
A parent, not terror.
Oh.
That's how misinformation
I couldn't
gets
figure out what adjective you're using in front of victim.
a parent.
Oh,
Yeah,
parent.
I wouldn't use it on broadcast because it sounds like someone's parent.
Okay.
What would you
That's
use?
what I first
right?
thought.
Alleged.
That's better.
But who's doing the alleged?
Yeah, that's I don't like that word either.
What time,
Possible.
do we have an idea what kind of scenario this led to a victimization?
We don't.
We don't know. That's what we're trying to get. We don't have the official information. It's
Probably
frustrating
domestic?
for us.
Oh.
No. Nope. Supposedly a teenager. Then we're checking on the follow-up on Ganado, although that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we just want to confirm
Yeah.
that it was and nobody
Okay.
else was
Accidental?
charged or whatever.
And something going on with the International Crane Foundation.
Was that a fatal shooting?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Outreach coordinator. Hired a Whooping Crane Outreach Coordinator for Texas office. And Crime Stoppers, I think, is on the arson fire, which we had on the paper the other day. Saturday or Friday, I forget, but we've had it. The Toyota cars, cars, the Toyota, maybe longer.
I don't think they had
Update was one day
cameras.
last week.
I think they have cameras on that.
I don't know why they wouldn't. Health department call them. We have one in.
Oh yes, we were loaded up.
Then in your schools, we hope we don't have much room, so we'll have to figure it out. We have Victoria College having a finals de-stress event. So
De-stress.
how do you de-stress? You get to play with puppies. You have photos of the puppies? Did Gabby take the photos?
My favorite de-stressor was
This
when we
is-
had breakfast for dinner. It was like the best. It was always like right around finals time, and everyone was already staying up super late. So we'd go to the dining halls and it was like pancakes
This is-
galore.
this
When I was in college, they didn't coddle us. They didn't coddle us. There's no
Well, you,
de-stressing
you
event.
didn't have additional fees.
No, they just
We paid all the fees for this luxury experience.
they said if
okay?
you're stressed out, act like a normal college student and just drink heavily.
I was gonna say, if we were in Colorado, I know what kind of de-stressing mechanisms they use there.
All these tutoring advisors. You read the catalog, you just figure it out.
I remember my senior year, my last year in college, I went into my advisor's office because it's embarrassing, and like just a few months before graduation, and I just started crying. I just started crying. He's like, "How's it going?" And I said, "I'm ready to graduate." And then I just started. Just like I couldn't even say anything more. I just started
Why
crying.
were you so emotional?
And
Like,
he's
the thought
like,
of graduating or what?
I was just done. I was ready to leave school. Think about it. You're in a structured school learning system from kindergarten all the way to. I didn't have any breaks there. I
Well,
went,
and you were on
know.
what, the 6-7 year plan?
No, I was on the 5-year plan because I transferred.
I transferred.
So you transferred for yeah.
From Washburn to KU.
Wow.
Never talked to an advisor. Graduated with exactly.
Well, honestly, when I started Washburn, I didn't
Talk
think.
to an advisor.
I never went. I don't even know who my
I didn't know.
advisor
I didn't know
was.
there was one. Nobody told me that was an option available
Yeah.
to me. Not.
Too
You
busy
know,
partying and drinking.
You know my advisor. Sorry. He went to the same university I did. It was Les Polk. Remember Les Polk? He was he was so tightly wound. He wore a bow tie. He used to work for the Minneapolis Star Tribune, and he was had the wireframe glasses. He looked like
There's no crying in
he looked like
school.
a doctor from the 1800s, and he just was just sitting there and listening, watching me cry, and he
I
said,
know.
he's like, "You're pretty stressed, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." I said, "I'm ready to get the hell out of college."
I
You
see.
know?
I was like a mess right before graduation because I didn't want college to end.
Oh, I knew a few of those.
I loved it. I was like, I love the
Yeah,
structure.
there was a guy in
I love
our
film
dorm
classes.
who'd been there for 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
He had changed majors 3 times.
Whereas now with my kids, every semester, talk to your advisor. You're on track to graduate. That's why I'm like, you're not missing any class you need, right? That's what I always say to them. Like, no, I'm
You didn't drop out and not
Yeah.
tell the
Yeah.
old man,
She
did
wouldn't
you?
would have her at those.
right. I don't want to pay it. I'm like, okay, you just need to take a regular load to graduate, right on time. Graduate on time. That's what I keep saying to them.
They have to go another semester. You better get a job.
You're right.
That's not in the contract.
No, that's not part of the deal. Go back to
Wow.
law school. You're on your own.
I wanted
grad
to
school?
See, my
grad
dad says the
school.
opposite. If you go to grad school, you're on your own, but if you go to law school, I'll take care of you.
Wow.
But I don't want to go to law school, though.
Because he's looking for somebody to take care of him.
I see.
When you're making, $250,000 a year,
I know, I've never wanted to be in a courtroom.
going to work for
thank you.
a man,
A
New
lot of
York,
lawyers don't go in courtroom.
New York City. Yeah, all the good lawyers.
You just
don't.
have to sell your soul.
Oh,
I can't do it.
All right. Well, where do we leave off?
I don't know.
Then we got sports. We got Bink. We got industrial volleyball and golf signings. Savannah Kitchens and volleyball. Logan Gabrish. How do you say that? Gabrish in golf. Signed with TLU. Monday Night Football, I believe, is the Steelers versus the Bengals. I believe Jimbo from Florida State's coming to A&M. They can pay off one coach for millions of dollars and hire the next coach for millions of dollars. How does that work?
Student fees.
Why would they give him a 10-year contract when coaches don't last that long?
Because that's how he negotiates that. He wants that deal, obviously.
He wants that $70 million.
You want the coach you want, you pony up all that money.
Yeah,
they
but
fire him
a lot
after
of it
5
is
years
the
and pay him
endowment
off.
association too. The endowment association probably chips in.
I'm sure they do, but the universities don't make money with these programs, I'll tell you that. Not when they're paying $70 million, they're not making money.
They're just trying to, they're trying to
They're
recruit
just trying
students.
to build up their reputation, I guess. What's it worth? I don't know. Texas A&M, apparently no one would go to that school unless they had a good football team. I don't know.
How much does Bill Self
That's
make?
crazy.
That's what they're known
Millions,
for.
millions.
They're a football
That is
school.
not what they're
No,
known
that's
for.
not what they're known
That's
for.
not.
Texas A&M.
And then
No.
he probably,
When I was in high school, that was what
probably
they were
gets
known
lots
for.
more for endorsements and for agreeing to use, allowing the products
That
to
if
use
you-
on the,
that
for
if
the
you
team,
wanted to
right?
be a rancher.
KU has a great basketball program, but I went there to go get a journalism degree, not
Right.
because of the basketball
Right,
program. I mean,
Yeah.
that's, and you go to A&M because you want to go to the engineering program
Or
or
become
whatever.
a farmer.
Or whatever, but you don't.
Yeah, that's
There's
what
nothing wrong with being a farmer.
I know there's not. I'm just saying that's what they're
but
known for.
Agriculture.
Football,
Engineering,
agriculture.
business,
research.
research,
Yeah.
it's a full-fledged
There's nothing
big
wrong with
university.
it. Am I saying it wrong with my tone?
Yeah.
Sort of, but
Oh.
you don't. You were given the liberal arts thing about land grant schools. If you want to be a farmer,
Yeah,
It's
you
sort
go
of
to, you,
There's nothing wrong with being a
And then, of
farmer.
or a
course-
veterinarian.
you go to Kansas State
Yeah.
University if you just
Yeah,
want to
so
open up
medical-
a jar of pills.
Yep. So when you go to A&M or UT or any major university, because for the
You
academics, I
don't
would
go
hope
to A&M for journalism because they got rid of that department.
they just restored it. They just did in the last
it back?
year.
It's not
John
what it's
Sharp
known
brought
for,
it back.
though.
No, it's not known for that.
Allison Miles did a good job at A&M with her journalism.
Ah,
Yes,
she got
you
there
did.
before they got rid of it.
Yes, and
That's good.
graduated right before they dumped it. What's on the state digest? We got Supreme Court getting ready to hear a case. I was reading the wrong one. I was thinking it was the Cape case, but that's Colorado. That they're hearing. Nicole gets to go hear the oral arguments in the Supreme Court case tomorrow. In the Colorado case.
Is that gonna be in the chamber?
Yeah,
Which
was-
Colorado
Wow.
It's the the baker who wouldn't.
The
bake the
candlestick
cake for
maker?
the
You sued the candlestick maker,
same-sex
right?
couple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the
That-
baker
Yeah.
who refused to make a cake
Right,
for the.
right.
why you
Wow.
just
Supreme Court arguments tomorrow, and she gets to be there.
Wow.
You can't record. Can't use mechanical recording devices.
Well, I'm
She
sure
has to
whatever the
take
rules
notes.
are, she will follow them.
Yeah, they won't allow anyone to audio record or video record. The U.S. Supreme
She says
Court.
that they often, where the precedence is often an obstructed view too. I said, well, get there early, get a good seat.
Yeah, she could take
I
notes.
wonder how that happened. Did they
But
get
they-
the catering bid and then realize last minute after the
No,
deposit?
I think they
like,
just-
how do you?
They just came in for the business and
For the consultation.
they saw there's same-sex couple and said no. thank you.
Wow, that's going to create a lot of. Because there are a lot of businesses that will discriminate like that. Sorry, I think it's
right, like
discrimination.
Cactus Canyon. They
right.
wouldn't let that gay couple slow dance, but they said that they could dance to like rap music. That was
Right,
fine, but they
but
couldn't.
they
punish
also
their-
they'll also allow 2 women to slow dance, but not 2 men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Can't tarnish that country music stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Go figure. But
And-
no, but that prevents businesses from claiming, religious
But on a related
grounds.
case, the Supreme Court declined to hear the case over a Texas High Court ruling that says gay spouses may not be entitled to government-subsidized workplace benefits. So the action
What does
came
that
without dissent or comment. It means that Texas court will now have to rule on a lawsuit from social conservatives who want to block spousal benefits for gay city employees in Houston. So the court will have to rule. Okay.
Lower court.
Lower court, yeah.
I lost you on that.
It is
one.
kind of confusing thing, but Supreme Court's not entering it, so the lower court is going to hear it now. I guess they might still come back to them.
So they try to leapfrog the state court? Is that what
No. They try to go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme-
U.S. or state?
U.S. U.S.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
U.S. Supreme Court says no, they're not going to hear the case and send it back down to Texas.
Oh, they want them to rule first.
yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Doctors
Yeah.
in Dallas say
Follow the
it took over a
procedure.
year to determine if a woman who received a womb transplant would become the first in the U.S. to give
that's
birth.
amazing.
Wow.
That was on CBS this morning.
So
Yeah,
when
she
returned
got that
home,
one from like her mother or something?
No.
A
The
cousin?
36-year-old nurse.
Oh yeah.
had
why
already
did the
had two
nurse?
children.
She didn't want her womb anymore.
She already had her family, so she tried it. She donated it to help somebody else have a baby.
That's wow. That's amazing.
And the weird thing is that after you have your baby, they can take that donor womb out, so you're not, because then that lowers your chances of cancer and other diseases.
Oh, it's just like getting a hysterectomy.
Or for the donor.
Right.
Opposite, yeah. Huh.
Because as soon as you get your donor womb, you have to start taking all the
Crazy
anti-rejection
case.
drugs.
That
and
might
all
be it.
But then you
A1
can't get
contender
ovarian
for us?
cancer, right?
That's incredible.
Well, you can if
that
you keep it in there.
procedure.
That's a possibility.
Huh.
But she had her baby, and the baby's healthy.
This is an interesting one related to something I just heard. So state environmental regulators say thousands of people in Texas still don't have safe drinking water more than 3 months after Hurricane Harvey.
Wow.
13 boil water notices remain in effect, including Orange, Newton, Matagorda, Liberty, Jim Wells, Harris, and Angelina. And I just talked to somebody who lives in Goliad, says they still use bottled water and well water.
How is Angelina County affected?
I don't know. Good question. That's an interesting piece too.
Are we trying to localize that?
Well, not. I don't think for tomorrow. I want to do our own story on water wells, but it would take longer to do that. Then here's the Jimbo Fisher story. It says opportunity to coach Texas A&M was one he simply couldn't pass up, and the $75 million he simply could not pass up. I wouldn't. They offered me $75 million. They offered me $70 million. I would coach it. If it was a guaranteed contract, and I could get fired in the first couple of games,
You would coach it?
I would coach
If I was
A&M.
guaranteed to get that money,
70 million? I
I'd
would.
never work again.
Yeah.
Well, I probably had a tough time getting another job with that reputation.
If I had 70 million, I wouldn't need another job, would I? I don't think so.
You got it all figured out.
But be sure
I
to
did. I just need to get hired. Step one. Darn it. Step one is kind of a big hurdle for me to clear. Though.
But be sure to ask Nicole. I think the only about the Supreme Court. Just she's only allowed to take written notes and no other method of.
I'm not worried about her violating.
No. I'm just curious because I've heard that and I thought, here's a chambers that creates, a lot of rulings and a lot of discussion occurs
It
in
should
there
be-
that affects
should be
millions of people.
Like court TV, but they're very old fashioned.
Well, I know the court audio records
You should watch.
the
Like on
exchanges.
C-SPAN 3?
Should watch Marshall. Did you see it? It was
Yes.
great. I thought it was excellent.
I saw it like the showing before you
Did
showed
you?
it. Yeah, I went to the 420,
Ah.
440 showing.
All right.
Yeah, I did see it. I thought it was a good movie.
I did too.
Is it about Thurgood Marshall?
Yeah, Thurgood
Yeah.
Marshall in a case he heard and he helped try
In Connecticut, wasn't it?
In Connecticut, of all
Yeah.
places. But and a pretty good role for Kate Hudson after all these years.
That's the how do you say it? Thurgood Marshall
Yeah.
Thurgood Marshall.
Uh-huh.
School of Law is the one that my dad wanted me to go to in Houston.
Oh,
Can you check,
Not going.
no.
You should watch. It's on YouTube. The one-man show of Lawrence Fishburne portraying Thurgood Marshall. It's really good. It's very.
This actor I didn't know, but he was very good playing Thurgood Marshall.
He played Jackie Robinson in 42.
Oh.
Well, according to the flicks. He
Joe-
also
Joe
played
Fires
James
Review?
Brown too, and I forget
Wow.
the movie about James Brown.
Called James Brown.
I don't know. It's called I Feel
The
Good.
Godfather?
I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
James Brown's from Missouri,
I
right?
feel good. Dun-dun-dun.
St. Louis?
Is he? I don't know.
Did you see where the president and his wife didn't go to the Kennedy Center's on the
Correct.
program also?
But did they have a White House ceremony
not?
for him?
I don't know. But they said they didn't want to distract from the people.
They said that they didn't want it to
Honorees.
become a political event by his appearance, and it's just
His
it's
absence
just an
still-
excuse.
Well, what
'cause
is big going on here?
to me, it's like I think he just wants to diss the liberal thinking segment of society,
Kennedy?
of arts and entertainment.
Is
Yeah.
he like pandering to his base though also?
Well, let's see. What's on the national?
But
news
also
list?
too, there are three. Well,
Trump
know
endorsed
who-
Roy Moore today.
yes. I won't go there. Sorry.
and-
Turn that camera off.
Democrat
Oh, when you talk, I gotta put it on you.
and what else? Trump complains about very unfair treatment of Michael Flynn. Said he feels very badly for Flynn. All right. And what else? Anything else big on the wire? Yemen's strongman was killed, apparently. And
Oh wow! Farenthold will repay the 84,000.
where did that come from?
I
That was
just
good.
Amber retweeted it from
Wow,
someone.
we gotta get that from Texas Tribune. That'd be an A1er.
Oh, so it's going to come out of his own pocket?
He's gonna pay it back.
Farenthold
You get that
afford it.
confirmed, obviously.
will repay 84K. Does Texas Tribune have that, Sam?
At least.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gloria Stefan.
Wow.
Really?
So
Yeah, here we go.
that's not gonna. We should post that too.
Okay.
Interesting. Interesting. He's taking a lot of flack over that one. And
Well,
that
wait a
was
minute.
certainly
He didn't want
bothersome.
to talk about it a minute ago, right? Now he's going to have to
Now
talk
he's gonna-
about it.
Yeah. What?
Now he's gonna like.
Yeah.
He's still denying
Huh.
that any wrongdoing.
I wonder how.
Well, I'm sure that's part of
it'll
all
all
his
roll
settlements.
out.
Right.
Because
Why did he pay 84,000? No wrongdoing.
Right. So if
And can we
he's
see a
taking
receipt?
if he's honestly taking the blame publicly, is he going to come to the defense of Roy Moore?
He's not. He's not. He's, according to Sam, he's denying any wrongdoing. But he's.
But he's still paying up.
Yeah.
Well, that's common for in a plea agreement or in a settlement that there's no wrongdoing assigned.
Right. But, wow. It'll be a lively debate we'll have between Blake Farenthold and his challenger,
I wonder
Michael
what
Cloud.
changed his mind. Clearly, the heat.
I think the heat.
Is he? Do you know the Texas Tribune's going to be in Corpus?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder
Oh, I
if
got a
Farenthold
call.
will
Right.
attend that event too.
I forgot to. I haven't called him. I will. That's this week,
Speaking
isn't
of-
it?
And this week, I think, or maybe next week.
Yeah. I'll call him.
Speaking of payouts, Matt Lauer is not going to get his payout from NBC.
He won, huh?
He's
How much
not
was
getting
that?
it? Well,
Like 25 million.
Did he have some kind of
would
a
have gone to his
Morals
moral
clause,
moral
probably.
clause? Or I imagine he'll sue him, though. I bet that'll go to court.
If something needs to happen, or he's getting sued for divorce also.
Yeah,
Is he?
she's
So-
filed for divorce.
She's not staying with him?
Nope.
Nope.
Apparently they haven't had a very harmonious
Oh,
marriage.
yeah, because there was a rumor that he was.
They've been living
whatever.
separate lives.
Also, too, Joseph Levine, the
Oh.
principal conductor for the Met,
Got
Oh yeah.
he was suspended.
Uh-huh.
For sexually abusing musicians in their teens.
Oh, when they're teens?
Mhm.
Wow. Well, I know he's disabled now. He's developed some form of ailment that puts him in a wheelchair.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll ever come back. It's a tough call when you've got like these creative geniuses, right? Like Garrison
Yeah,
Keillor last week.
creative geniuses are allowed to get away with.
Oh, well, no, they're not. But it's sad. It's sad when
I guess it's
I
sad.
really loved Garrison
And
Keillor's work,
tonight-
but now I'm like, oh, I can't really say that out
Tonight-
loud without feeling a little
Guilty.
guilty. Yeah.
CBS is debuting their new evening anchorman, Jeff Glore.
What happened to Anthony Mason?
Anthony Mason. I think he was temporary. Scott Pulley,
Pulley went to
60 Minutes. Yeah, and I think Mason was a temp.
Oh, I thought he was full time.
And then Jeff Glore starts tonight. And he was on this morning, and I'm looking at Jeff Glore like, oh, brother, you better not have any skeletons in the closet. But they show pictures of him and his wife and his two kids, and how he's going to balance being father to two little boys, you know, because I'm sure that position, they own you.
Well, it's the same way everybody else balances it. The wife takes care of the kids while he
Yeah.
works. And it doesn't sound like she had a job, so, a career.
Well, he's making,
Good job outside the home. You mean.
Well, yeah,
All right.
yeah, he's making tons of money, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
But yeah, he debuts tonight. I want to watch that.
Are
I
you?
bet Anthony Mason goes to the one.
What did Farenthold say? Let's hear. Breaking from Sam.
Yes.
What did?
Says, I want to be clear that I didn't do anything wrong, but I also don't want the taxpayers to be on the hook for this.
All right. He didn't do anything wrong, but he doesn't want the taxpayers on the hook. So
Well, why didn't he do this before then?
why didn't he wait
I
for it
guess
to come
public
out?
pressure, like you said.
Yeah.
Probably
He wanted the taxpayers to be on the hook for it as long as they didn't know
about it
Anyway.
because it was confidential. Wasn't it supposed to be quote confidential?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then when it
Politico
leaked-
broke it, I believe.
Yeah, it was Politico.
Yeah. So that's my government transparency hat for the day. You need journalists out there holding government officials accountable and not letting them take taxpayer money and spend it in secret.
Not even when they're your friends.
Not even then. Not even then. It's It's part of my agenda is government accountability.
Hmm.
That's
Also
my
no
agenda.
friends.
And no friends.
And no friends, correct.
I have people decide they're not my friends after we do a story, but that's
Life.
that's their problem, I guess. I say because they
It's-
knew I was a journalist before, they decided they liked me. So if they don't like me after they don't like the story, well, that's their problem.
I just
Bye,
said that.
Felicia.
Bye.
I just said that the other day to somebody who was just appointed,
Yeah.
was just promoted. I said, well, you can't worry about being friends right now. You got to say what you need to say to people. I'll tell you more later.
All right.
Why
Well,
can't we be friends?
again.
Why can't we be friends? Because you're an editor, that's
as I
why.
was just having coffee with the source today, and I was saying he was a public servant, and I said to him, you know, you have a job in which you feel like you serve the public. I do too. If we're both doing our job, then
The
most
public
of
is
the time,
served.
Public is served.
Well served.
Yeah, it's well served. If there's that 5% of the time where, you know, somebody, government official might be hiding something or not serving the public's in their best intentions, then, well, we're going to run crossways
What
of
is
them.
what does that guy say in broadcast news?
Broadcast news, William Hurt,
Yeah, what is I'm
or
angry and I won't be quiet about it, or
No,
Or what-
no, I'm mad as hell, and
Yeah.
That's
and
network.
I'm not gonna. That's network.
yeah,
network.
yeah.
We're
I'm
gonna-
mad as hell, and I'm
Uh,
not gonna take it anymore.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't
That
really
was
claim
Peter
broadcast.
Finch.
Sorry.
That was Peter Finch,
sorry.
who posthumously won an Oscar for that role.
It was intense.
Yeah.
No, in broadcast news, it was, you
A
know,
lot of alliteration for an anxious anchorman.
placed in powerful posts. And it was, he talked about how the anchorman is probably the devil because, you know, he influences a great God-fearing nation. He never takes a political view. He never says a rude thing, but just bit by little bit, he lowers the standards where it's very important.
Like, well, I don't know where we're going with that, but I guess we should sign off. So,
From this broadcast.
from this broadcast, listen to the
Yeah,
broadcast.
just
This
like
is-
that- just
This is
like
just
that.
print people talking.
This is like that dumb
Not a
commercial.
broadcast.
It's like, what if there's no radio and television? Where do I get my news? And I'm like,
Oh,
really? You get it from a reliable source called
Actually, I
a
don't mind
newspaper.
that local broadcaster commercial because
They don't mention the newspaper.
they don't miss the newspaper, but basically they are saying, I read it as they're saying the local newspaper, honestly. 'cause-
Well, yeah, 75% of
Yeah.
broadcast news is from print.
Right,
That's
right.
true, yeah.
Kind of like today, this morning, KVU had a piece about the arson fire at the cars at the Toyota dealership. Like, well, that was in our paper a few days ago. Wonder how they got that. Anyway, so that's fine. I don't.
How many people are watching?
5. But then
Are they?
Friday night at 10 o'clock news, they're all giggly because they have a wasp in
Oh
their
yeah,
Yeah.
that was embarrassing.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
God.
I don't know.
It's like, have you ever seen a wasp?
How about
Have you
I
ever
had-
seen an insect flying around in a set
The
before?
only thing I'd say is our broadcast is not all that. If we had a wasp in here, we'd probably be a little
I
weird.
Facebook Live it.
But they
People don't
pretend to
expect
be
that
serious.
from
yeah.
us. They
Yeah.
expect us to be giggly and
Yeah.
all that. But they don't
But it's
expect
funny.
that.
He was reading the serious news. It was like about a sexual misconduct or something. He's going, and then there was sexual misconduct. He went like that. I'm like,
Oh my god.
because of a
don't know.
wasp. I was
Break
like,
it up
you're
in the
giggling
same
because of
I
a
don't
wasp?
think you can compare
that's why-
broadcast and print. You know, where print is where the foot
Where the
soldiers,
actual reporting goes on.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
where the
broadcast
serious
is
journalism
like totally
happens.
different.
And broadcast is like entertainment.
What's a fast food
There was a guy on this
journalism?
morning. I just posted a rant about Matthew Dowd, who's on Good Morning America. He's a political operative, and he just spouts propaganda all the time, and they present him like he's some kind of journalist. I don't know. That's what really bugs me. You know, if there's political news and they want commentary, they say, here's a Republican, here's a Democrat, here's what they say. It
Did you
should be not just some guy masquerading as.
Did you see
I don't know
ABC suspended one of their broadcast journalists for 4 weeks for making an error about the Michael Flynn
what? Oh yeah.
story?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 4 weeks without
It was
pay.
Trump made the comments as president-elect, not as president. That was the
Right.
Isn't that
distinction.
just a bunch of lawyering?
No,
It was,
Oh, no,
he did it as a
definitely-
candidate.
Yeah, it's definitely an error.
Oh no,
Definitely-
Yeah.
the lawyering is that the lawyer sent out the tweet. That's what.
No, that's different.
yeah,
That's a different incident.
That's different.
That's
yeah,
different.
sorry.
That's about
That's
the
Roy Moore.
Flynn.
But don't you think it's a little overreaction on their part?
To suspend him
Suspend
for making a
him?
mistake? I mean,
4
it's a
weeks?
mistake.
But he did have a history of errors.
Yeah,
But-
well, we don't know his personality.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
saying like.
The guy at the correspondence dinner, the comedian, he said basically, he told all the journalists, he said, if one of you makes a mistake, this president is going to use you as the example of how
Yeah.
you're all bad.
Right.
So the pressure is on you. When high-profile journalists, like this guy on ABC News,
Yeah.
makes this big of an error, the administration is going to point to him and say, this is your standard. This guy represents your standard. So one person representing the whole group, and then he says, now you know what it's like to be a minority.
Wait for it.
It's not breaking news for me, but
All right. Anyway,
You should listen to
if
it.
you have comments, suggestions, want to talk politics, I'll call somebody else. But if you want if you have news tips, call us. Let's call 574-1222
Or BR
for
549.
news.